Hello, I'm Danny Haze, and this is my video journal. I started this video journal because I just started to feel reality kind of slipping away, and I needed to find a way to ground myself. I guess I should start by saying who I am, or some of the things I know about myself to be true. I'm an insurance agent, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. Excuse me. Sorry, I sneezed. I'm nervous. Excuse me. I don't know why this is so hard. The things that I've done have started to fracture. I don't know, fracture my personality in a way. I guess I'll just jump right into it. I remember the first time I killed a man. I shouldn't say a man. I was 12 years old in the schoolyard, playing on the jungle gym with some friends, and his name was Steve Peters, just a classmate of mine, and we had a dispute. I don't remember what it was really about. It might have just been some schoolyard bullying. I don't remember, but what I do remember is that I was angry with him, and I remember pushing him off the jungle gym and watching him fall, and he flipped over the railing, and he landed head first onto the cedar chips below. He just kind of laid there lifeless. I remember when we went to court, them trying to try me as an adult, and they ended up getting off. I think, if I remember right, the charges were negligent homicide, and I got off because I was 12 years old, and they said that I didn't know any better, and there was no intent to end his life. And thinking back on it, I did want to kill him. I did want him dead. My mom and dad were divorcing at the time, and it was like the whole world was crashing around me. I had no idea how to deal with it. And my dad had cheated on my mom, and it's like everything that I had been taught about respecting people and loving them regardless of what they had done was just shattered. I was raised in a religious family and taught about the sanctity of marriage, and I wondered, after all of these moral values were instilled in me, how could they break their commitment that they told me was so sacred over one mistake that my father had made. and it drove me nuts. And there was the custody battles and hearings that going to babysitters while my mom and dad were at court, and listening to my mom and dad fight on the phone. I wanted to kill him. I wanted him dead. And it wasn't necessarily my intent to kill him when I pushed him off the jungle gym, but I wanted to hurt him. I remember hearing the crack in his neck and thinking, wow, was it that easy? You look at the human body and you know how resilient it is, but at the same time, it is so fragile. And he didn't bleed. He just laid there lifeless, and I stared at him. And I remember the playground monitors running up and yelling for help, and I just stood and watched. Not even upset, but just fascinated at how just as easily as my parents' marriage was ended, a life was ended even more easily. And it gave me a sense of empowerment that with everything going on around me, the one thing I could control was whether or not someone lived or died. And something changed in me that day. There was a part of me in the back of my mind that told me what happened was wrong. But that feeling of control was so much stronger. Knowing that I wasn't as weak as I felt and that I could end pain that I felt by ending a life. And that feeling grew stronger, and it became more of a realization to me as on the playground, the other kids started to respect me, and I began to see the respect that comes from fear. And the older I got, people didn't forget about it. I was always the kid who killed Steve. And I was never always the most popular person. I was never really a bully, but people feared and respected me. And that's where it all started. It was with the death of Steve.